One of the most anticipated games of the year, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, launches in a matter of days. And the development team just sat down for one last interview in which they revealed key details about changes made to the game, along with the inspiration behind staying in the Breath of the Wild timeline, and of course what new and returning gamers can expect when the game launches on May 12th. So, let's talk about it.
Are you listening?
Hey, welcome back, my friends, to day 3 of our week-long coverage celebrating the upcoming release of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And very soon, gamers from around the world will be able to return back to the land of Hyrule, and of course take the role of Link as they fight off the malevolent forces that are out to destroy the kingdom. And I guess to hype up the remaining 5 gamers who aren't excited about this game, the development team at Nintendo who worked on Tears of the Kingdom decided to sit down and discuss key updates made to the game, including the news that Tears of the Kingdom has been designed to ensure that both new and returning players will both enjoy this game equally. Specifically, if you've never played Breath of the Wild, Nintendo added a character relations screen that will update new players on the relations between Link and returning characters. And speaking of Breath of the Wild, one of the biggest reveals during this interview was that Breath of the Wild on the Nintendo Switch was actually held back in scale due to the game having to also launch on the Wii U. Man, all these years later and the Wii U still gets shit on. In fact, the dev team revealed that exploring islands in the skies or caves underneath the earth was something that they originally wanted to do in Breath of the Wild. The idea of specifically traveling between the land and the sky seamlessly is something that Nintendo has talked about internally going all the way back to Skyward Sword. Because if you remember in that game, if you wanted to travel between the sky or the land, you actually had to select it on the map. But in Tears of the Kingdom, players will be able to climb their way to the sky or even build flying machines that will take them to the floating islands above. And the sky islands in this game are a pretty big deal. In fact, the Nintendo dev team shared that as a team, they were so excited at playing in the sky that they tested out so many new gameplay elements to the point that when the designers would go in every single day, they'd be like, oh, the sky is way too crowded right now. And well, yeah, it definitely sounds like the Sky Islands have been scaled back. But I gotta say, reading the excitement that the team has for like this new element, it definitely gives me a really optimistic view for what that will add to the game. Now, Tears of the Kingdom will also feature a major improvement with the in-game dungeons, in which they have been massively overhauled. In Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, each dungeon will have its own regional look and feel, along with being expanded in size. And honestly, this interview was a really interesting choice by Nintendo because, again, from my perspective, the majority of gamers who want to play this game are hyped out of their mind. So while Nintendo sharing this information is definitely cool, realistically, it just seemed like you were trying to get gamers to say, shut up and just take my money. Now, there was one final thing about this interview that I thought was like a really cool note, and it had to do with the design and focus of building a living world of Hyrule, in which one of the developers mentioned inspirations that Miyamoto-san said during the development that helped the team make Tears of the Kingdom. And the story essentially goes that while the team was making Wii U sports resorts, Miyamoto-san encouraged the team to turn the actual stages into characters in the game. And the team is using that concept very heavily in Tears of the Kingdom, and they're striving to make Hyrule feel like a living world with changes and new discoveries that can be uncovered around every corner. And again, this game is gonna sell boatloads, but it is really cool to see like Nintendo make strides to like further set expectations for this game. And Tears of the Kingdom is easily gonna be one of the biggest Nintendo games of this year, and the game is like launching in 2 days. Last I checked, Breath of the Wild is like 25 to 30 hours, so if you haven't beat that one yet, there's no better time to do it. Thank you so much for watching. Go play Breath of the Wild, and if you want more Zelda content as we approach the launch date of Tears of the Kingdom, make sure to stick right here on Nerf Gaming News.